The Ultimate Football Fan is now here. All the biggest fan channels in one place.
Flex Nights down.
100% Chelsea.
Arsenal Fan TV.
All about the fans.
Why is he on the fucking pitch for? For what?
Exclusive content only here.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to
The UFF Daily Football Show.
The number one source for everything going on in the football world, daily.
UFF. Do what you have to do.
Not a bad side, and obviously
Hello
United.
welcome to FanPark Live. We're back with another
Anyway, we're live with
debate
FanPark Live.
challenge.
Let's go to them.
This is being brought to you by the Ultimate Football Fan in association with History. From the 28th of March, there will be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, football coverage on History across all major TV platforms, whether it be Sky, Virgin, Freeview. You're going to go and check that out. We're doing these live debates in the build-up to the hashtag History of Football in the lead-up to the World Cup. Tonight, I'm joined by some very, very special guests. We have Mr. Mark Goldbridge on from the United Stand. We'll get on to why in a moment, why he is here, everybody that's watching. We're joined by Adam here from the Fifth Official, and Neeks is here from Neeks Sports, supporting me today as my co-host on this absolutely epic debate. You already know, if you already clicked on the video, what we're talking about here. We are looking at and we are debating which was the most special, which was the best single season achievement. Arsenal's Invincibles that went unbeaten, got the gold Premier League trophy, or Manchester United's 1999 treble winning team where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer snatched it in the dying seconds to create absolute history. That is what we're debating tonight. I think it's going to get passionate. I think it might even get a little bit personal. This guy has got spreadsheets with data. Obviously, we're joined by Mark. Are you there, Mark? Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here for you, Terry. Looking forward to it, and always good to have not a Twitter poll with Arsenal. Always good to have a debate with an Arsenal fan, not on Twitter though.
Yeah, absolutely. Arsenal team to dominate Twitter polls. But if you're a United fan out there, get on the Ultimate Football Fan Twitter page. There is a poll out there now asking you the question. Retweet it, vote it. Let's make this as competitive as possible. And again, welcome to the United Stand. I know it's the first time that UFF has streamed and FanPark Live has streamed on the channel. So a massive pleasure and honour for us all to be on your platform tonight. It means a lot to us. So we're going to jump straight into this, okay? We're going to go to Adam first of all, okay? So we're going to give Adam 2 minutes for him to state he's invincible here. He's a gooner. So he's going to be telling us why the Invincibles is the greatest single season achievement. He's got 2 minutes to do this. He won't be challenged in that 2 minute period. And then we're going to go across to Mark. So let me hand over to you, mate. Tell us why the Invincibles is the best in your eyes.
Let me state unequivocally and indubitably that Arsenal Football Club going unbeaten is the greatest single footballing achievement. That's that. It's better than your treble, and that is that. I'm going to let you know, I feel like I've been stitched up. 3 United fans against me. But you know what? The goalposts have even been moved today. It's fine. I'm going to do what I can do. Let me set the scene. It's September 2002. Eminem and Pink have just won the MTV Music Awards, right? Manchester United, they've won back-to-back league titles. That's really good. Manchester United have won a treble in recent history. That's really good. They're the dominant force in football. But it's Arsenal. That's what we need to remember. There's a Frenchman, Arsene Wenger, who is tasked with the job of replacing the dominant force in football. The media's rebuking him, saying he got lucky, claiming that he just inherited a George Graham side. Slating him in the media, saying he doesn't know what he's doing. Asking, who's this Frenchman that thinks he's going to revolutionise our game? What a question. Can you believe it? People are charting boring Arsenal because we win 1-0. Some people, they get bloody rattled going on a first date. And this is what Wenger has to deal with. Do you understand? He wins the league in 2002. And people say, all right, maybe we can respect you a little bit, but you still aren't as good as Manchester United. Then he does something so daring and so out of this world. He predicts, in fact, no. He prophesies. And speaks into existence, saying the team I have now, the team I'm going to build, is going to go unbeaten. And you know what people do? They laugh. They laugh like you just did. They scoff. They say, ha ha ha, this Frenchman, he's lost his mind. What's he doing? But you know what he does?
What?
He wins the league again. So he's also got a back-to-back title. But he does it unbeaten. They won the league in 2002, then 2003-04. FA Premier League, bro.
Arsenal?
Yeah.
Back-to-back Premier League titles?
Of course.
Sorry, I can't interrupt. Crack on, sorry.
And that's an achievement that nobody's... Is that wrong? No, it's not. It's not. And that's an achievement that nobody's ever done before. And not only do they win with such style, mixing pace, power, panache, with skill and flair, and that's much better than Manchester United could ever do. They amassed a record 90 points. Thierry Henry scored 30 Premier League goals. Do you know how many goals Dwight York got in that treble winning? Yes. How many?
In all competitions?
In the Premier League.
You tell us.
Do you know how many? No. You tell.
It's your 2 minutes.
Listen,
we're neutral.
It's 18, here. And we predicted. Don't forget, Wenger predicted it would happen. So context is very important, ladies and gentlemen. And if we're talking achievements, if we're talking about doing something so outstanding, astonishing, and shocking, we can look no further than the 2003-2004 unbeaten, invincible Premier League champions, and that's Arsenal.
Adam, thank you very much. Done his research, got some good points that were put across there. Obviously, I know Man United fans are now looking to literally debunk some of that. I know they are. I'm going to pass straight over to Mark, Mr. Mark Goldbridge of the United Stand, for your 2 minutes to talk about Man United's treble-winning team. Over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Terry. Well, look, at the end of the day, the Invincibles, it's a big achievement, but I would say this, and I've said this many a time, that the reality is this should be Arsenal 98 versus the treble-winning team, because the Invincibles actually lost more games in their season than Manchester United did in the treble-winning season. And that's a fact, because Arsenal got knocked out of the Champions League in their invincible season to Chelsea from the Premier League over 2 legs. They also lost in the semi-finals of the League Cup. I think it was Middlesbrough over 2 legs as well. And obviously they got knocked out of the FA Cup. I think it was a small club called Manchester United who knocked them out of that as well. So the Invincibles, it's a brilliant thing, obviously, to say that you went unbeaten all season, but they also drew 12 games. 2 of those games were against the mighty Portsmouth, home and away. Portsmouth, they couldn't even beat them in their invincible season. So I think it's a gold chain round the neck to say, oh, we're invincibles, and you got a golden Premier League for it. But actually, you lost more games than the 99 side. And let's get on to the 99 side. I feel wrong to actually even have to defend them against the Invincibles, because the 98 Arsenal team was better. But in relation to the treble-winning side, beat Arsenal by 1 point for the league. Arsenal were a very good team in 99 and very worthy adversaries. We beat them in the FA Cup semi-final in an epic, the best game there's ever been in the FA Cup. And on top of that, Manchester United won the Champions League. As I said, Arsenal got knocked out by Chelsea in the quarterfinals. Manchester United beat Inter Milan with Ronaldo and Baggio. They then beat Juventus with Zidane and Davids. And then they beat Bayern Munich with Effenberg at his pomp, Basler and Kahn. And they did this with pretty much the same 11 every week. It was epic what Manchester United achieved in that treble-winning side. And no Premier League side should be in any debate against them, because that season is flawless. And there will never ever be another one. Well done to Arsenal for winning a golden trophy, but it's a bit like giving Arsene Wenger a knighthood. What are we doing? Rewarding, effectively, a B-Tech achievement compared to what Manchester United and Sir Alex have achieved in 99 and throughout their career. And as I said, I'll finish off with the 98 side. I saw both, and I'd be more fearful of the 98 side than the 04 side.
Well, Mark, again, some astounding points there. I know that the Arsenal contingents watching in will have something to say, especially about the B-Tech comment. I'm sure they will be literally in the comment polls wanting to phone in. Remember, if you want to make a phone call, you can come on live on the air and have your say. 0203 606 0315. The guys are in the control room ready, willing to take your calls. What we're going to do now, though, these two are going to have the opportunity to challenge each other's points and try and debunk each other's theories before the phone calls. Prior to that, what we are going to do is go to some of the videos that have been sent in to us from YouTubers, influencers and football fans from around the country talking about the Invincibles and the treble. We'll hand over to the tech team to put the video on, and we'll be back in a few moments.
They created an amazing feat, going through an entire season unbeaten. That is absolutely amazing. But when you look at Manchester United and Ferguson City United to win a treble, that is an amazing feat, and that is truly, truly incredible. But let us dig deeper into it truly. Because that United treble winning team, of course, they were amazing. but did they really play the level of football that Arsenal played? Because remember, that Arsenal Invincible team had Henry, one of the best players we've ever seen in the Premier League. It had the likes of Dennis Beckham, it had the likes of Robert Pires, it had the Patrick Vieira, they had Lauren in there. It was a team with some of the best players we've ever seen, ever. The United team was a very good team, but they did not have the kind of individuals, the qualities that Arsenal team had. So I feel it's going to be, it's very tough. It is very, very tough, and there are arguments for both sides. But I just have to say that Arsenal team that went 49 games without losing, the kind of football that they played was just at a level that we've never really seen.
I've got to go for the Invincible team. This team has won the whole Premier League trophy without losing one game. Now, it's something that we could just say, anyone could do it. It could easily happen. It hasn't been done for years and years, since the first division back in the English league. And to say that a team's going to do it for a whole season and not lose one single game, that for me is phenomenal. Arsene Wenger called it the season before. He said Arsenal would win the league without losing the game. Got a bit ahead of himself that year, but the year after they came and they did it.
Arsenal had an invincible season. They were undefeated in the league. However, they did lose several games in the cup, and I know they may have played weaker teams to focus on the league, but they did. Technically, if you're looking at technicalities, they did lose a few games that season. But also, I think if you were to ask an Arsenal fan, what would you rather? Would you rather go unbeaten in the league, or would you want to go and win that treble? I think Man United lost about 4 games in that season, so they didn't go unbeaten. However, they came out with 3 trophies from that. And I'm pretty sure Arsenal fans would say, hold their hands up and say, yeah, I would rather take the treble winning season over the invincible one.
Thank you very much for everybody that sent us in some content for that. Again, some great varied opinions, some passionate opinions as well as always. And remember, if you ever want to send videos into the Ultimate Football Fan or my show, FanPark Live, there is a Dropbox link in the description below, so you can get that done for any of the live shows that we have. We are going to go back to Mark Goldbridge in a minute. He's going to have his opportunity to challenge or try and debunk some of Adam's points. Before that, though, we're just going to get the current Twitter poll from the UFF Twitter account up on the screen. You can see that currently I actually accidentally clicked on the Invincibles as my vote by mistake. I feel like a traitor to my own football club. I am terrible. But 5,930 votes thus far. I'm now going to press that retweet button myself. The Invincibles are winning with 63% of that vote.
Because they were about 85% when it first, about 2,000 votes in.
Yep.
And recently it seems to have come more in towards the treble. So we'll see at the end of the night where it actually stands.
Absolutely. So again, if you're a United fan or you're a neutral and you disagree with this Twitter poll, go and check it out at ULT Football Fan. Get voting, get it retweeted. Let's get this trending across the spectrum. And after Adam and before we go to Mark as well, what we're going to do is, Neeks, could you go through some of the comments that people have been making for us just on the live streams? Let us know what's going on.
I've been going through Arsenal Fan TV comments, and I was expecting, obviously a lot of Arsenal fans, as you would imagine. We've got a comment from Raz Croix. It says, how many teams in Europe since have won the treble, and how many times have teams gone unbeaten since? And maybe that is a premise to go by which one is more of an achievement, which one is harder to do. The numbers necessarily don't speak in favour of the treble winning, because more teams in history have done the treble of European League and domestic cup.
Do you think with that though, and I'll put this question out, these guys might come up in the debate, but if you're say you're winning, say you're Barcelona when they did their treble, let's say you're
twice, they've done it twice.
Yeah, say you're top of the league by 10 points. You could sacrifice a league game by resting players to ensure you're fully fit to get further on in the Champions League. If Arsenal would have sacrificed maybe losing a Premier League game or two, maybe they get past Chelsea in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Maybe they get past Middlesbrough in the League Cup, but they didn't. They put everything into the Premier League. So there's a tactical management balance to doing that as well. But it's a really good point by there. Any other comments that stand out to you?
There's another one. It says, it's one about the Barcelona and Real Madrid. They said they always do the treble, but Man United, Real Madrid and Barcelona always try to go unbeaten, and none of them do it. I think this season's an example. Barcelona nearly went unbeaten this season and lost at the last to, was it Levante?
Yes.
5-4 in the end. So, and this is maybe it's not the greatest ever Barcelona side, but they've still got great players like Messi, Suarez, Iniesta. Obviously, he's retiring or leaving at the end of the season, but they still wasn't able to go unbeaten.
Some good points there. So we're going to go back to Mark. Mark, you've got about a minute or so to pose any questions you want or challenge anything that Mr. Adam here had to say. I actually don't know your surname. Charles, this is Adam. I've never asked your surname.
Government's out. Just realised what I did. Don't worry.
Adam, Mark, over to you, mate. Take it away.
Well, first of all, I think, Twitter polls, Arsenal fans are going to win. It's a joke for years, that is. And, with all due respect, they're going to win that. But the reality is, I liked that live comment there about how many other teams have won it, because I brought it into my point. And going invincible is good. It's good. But when you look at that season, it really is just a status thing. It really is just we got an Invincibles. There's no real depth to it. I mean, you look at United's season, the Solskjaer winner, the Sheringham equaliser, the Giggs winner, the late winner by Solskjaer in the FA Cup third round against Liverpool. There was lots of moments. Living that, and I was lucky to live it, was just spine-tingling. I don't think it was spine-tingling for an Arsenal fan to be invincible. It wasn't spine-tingling to draw against Portsmouth twice. It wasn't spine-tingling to get knocked out by a team from your league in the quarterfinals. And I think, you know what? Man City probably should have been invincibles this year. And if they had done, they would have had over 100 points to do it. But what my big question back to Adam is, I'm absolutely categorically convinced that the 98 Arsenal side is better, and a better debate would be who's better, 98 or 04. And as a neutral, I would say the 98 team absolutely destroys the 04 team. They won the double, and they weren't in the Champions League, so that can't be compared. And they had a better defence, and apart from Henry in it, they were a better team, and they should be compared to United more than this. I think this is just a status thing, effectively. Lose one of those games, and it's just an okay season.
Okay. That's all brilliant, but that's not the debate, Mark. Like, we can talk about which side is better than this side. The debate is, are the Invincibles better than the Trebles? It's not the 98 or 99 side versus the treble winning side. So, as nice as that is, we need to stick to the point. And the point is, you brought up tactics, and you brought up Chelsea quite a few times. A few other people have brought it up as well. And I think we're overlooking the fact that it's, in my opinion, much easier to play against a team that doesn't know your style of football. So, for instance, if I play in a league where the opposition are more used to my style of play, they're more accustomed to my tactics, the way I move, they'll find it easier to adapt to me because they have a better idea of what to expect. And I think it's easier to spring tactical surprises in a one-off Champions League game against foreign opposition that don't know the way that I play. So during a league, you have to constantly reinvent yourself. You have to constantly make permutations to your tactics, constantly make slight little adjustments so that you're one step ahead of the opposition. Now, that's the reason that the question on everyone's lips is, can Man City do it again next season? Because they've done it, it's brilliant, but are they going to be able to replicate that? It's the same thing with Dele Alli. He was so good in his first couple of seasons. Last season, he was a bit underwhelming. He's even said himself, people have gotten used to the way he's played. He has to adapt to his game. He has to change it, and he's having to adjust himself.
But can I ask you a question?
Go on, of course you can.
Are people not also asking or maybe even criticising Man City and Pep Guardiola for not going further or winning the Champions League? Is that not the pinnacle of the club game?
Of course they are. However,
good point.
One thing I would like to say, Arsenal played Chelsea. Let's not understate that. Chelsea is a team that's in their league. Chelsea is a team that is used to the way Arsenal played. Chelsea is a team that's in their domestic competition. And in my opinion, that gave them an advantage because it gave them more games for them to watch, more games for them to actually view and exploit the weaknesses in Arsenal's team.
Yep.
And people really seem to be underestimating that fact. And as brilliant as it is to win a treble, and don't get me wrong, I would love for Arsenal to win a Champions League.
A lot of Arsenal fans say they would have given up one loss in.
Do you know what I'm saying? I would have done that.
A winning goal in 2006.
So you're would you have given a? That's a good question there. Would you have given a defeat to win the Champions League that same year?
No, I would not.
So you'd rather the gold trophy and no Champions League than one defeat and two trophies.
Listen, don't forget we got to a final in 2006.
You lost.
Yeah, we did lose. So there are other times that we could have got to a final and we could have won. Do you understand? So that season is something.
So you wouldn't give it up for nothing?
No, I wouldn't.
Good.
No, I would not.
What we're going to do, we're going to take a call and then we're going to come back for Adam to be able to challenge Mark. We've got a number of people that want to come through on the air. If you want to call through, 0203 606 0315 and we'll try our best to get you on. We're ready for the first call, gentlemen. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live head-to-head in association with history. What's your name and what would you like to say?
My name is Kwame, and I'd like to say that I can see both of like the points for both sides, but I'd like to say that I think the treble winning side, to win the treble is a better achievement, but to be invincible is a harder achievement. Like you can have the next 50 seasons, and it's unlikely that one team is going to go invincible. But with Man City, like
great point.
Even this season, they had the chance, if they had a better luck in the Champions League, to maybe win the treble across the season. I think the treble is more repeatable and therefore is not as hard of it as an achievement. But if we're talking like pure trophies, then you have to say the treble because three trophies compared to one.
That's a great point. Thank you very much for your call.
It's not been repeated though, has it? You know, let's be honest. It's not been repeated.
Sorry, what was that, Mark? Sorry?
It's not, you know, it's not being repeated. And the reason, you know, I was trying to help Adam out because I think he's reaching. I don't think this is winnable. But I was trying to say, you know, you've been thrown a lame duck, really. The 98 side would have been better against 99. But he's right. We're talking about Invincibles against United. And people keep saying, oh, it's more achievable. Well, it might be on the continent, but who's done it? No one's got near it, and no one will get near it. Even with Man City's money, and they have got a massive advantage over the Arsenals, the Chelseas and United. They will not get a treble. They will not win a treble.
Mark,
it was absolutely unbelievable what happened. And as for the Chelsea thing, well, you know, you can't say that season is good just because you were unbeatable, because you didn't win the Champions League, you didn't win the FA Cup, and you didn't win a League Cup. You just stayed unbeaten for a season. We won the treble. No one else will do it.
Mark, what do you make of the caller's point that he thinks that the better achievement is winning the treble, but it's harder to go unbeaten? What would you say to that?
I think no, I don't. I think I do respect what Arsenal did, and they did deserve a gold trophy. And I think if you compare, I said this in January, Terry. I said, look, when people were saying Man City are one of the best teams ever, I always used the Invincibles in the argument. I always did. I said no. 08 United, 99 United, 04 Invincibles, and 98 Arsenal, because it is an achievement, and it's way better than Man City this year, and everyone needs to sit down about that. But as Adam quite rightly said, in the context of 99 versus 04, there's nothing. I remember that season obviously very, very well. And that was a marathon. It was a battle. You had people playing 3 games every 7 days, which the modern players couldn't do. Playing on empty, playing against 10 men against Arsenal in an FA Cup semi-final. It was you know, the late win in the Bayern Munich game. It was an absolute historic season, and nobody will do it. I remember how hard it was. Nobody will do it. Arsenal played what? 38 games. Man. Most, you know, United played what? Touching 60. There you go,
Mark. Thank you, Neeks. You got some stuff there. Is any in your research? Anybody else anyone else gone invincible in Europe?
Yes, Invincible. Yeah. We've got Preston. Obviously, they did it in the English.
Who cares, bro?
No, but they did it
first. Preston fans would have cared. Preston fans.
And are they even relevant now?
What?
Get them out.
Are Arsenal relevant now? Are Arsenal relevant now?
Listen.
Are Arsenal relevant now?
Go on. We're always relevant. Don't ever forget.
All right. Sorry, Ty.
Always.
Sorry, Ty.
Anyway.
AC Milan did it in the early 90s, and Juventus did it around 2000. I think it was 2001, 2011 or so.
Yeah, with Conte.
And Celtic did it in the 60s.
What league did they play in?
No, but Celtic were also winning European Cups at the time, so we have to give. So I think in total there's been five teams in Europe who's gone unbeaten, and there's about 7 teams 8 times, because Barca's done it twice, who's won the treble. So give one or two here or there. They are pretty even in terms of how difficult they were.
There's not a majority.
Exactly.
It's not 7 to 1.
Because if they were to,
but who did the treble more?
The treble's been done more.
Oh.
Okay.
So there is
Adam,
a majority.
it's your turn to challenge any of Mark's points from his opening statements or anything else he said in between. You've got a minute to pose the questions or make your point, and then Mark will get the opportunity to reply.
Listen, Mark, I love what you're doing. It's brilliant. You sound bitter, though. I'm not going to lie to you. You sound upset that Manchester City are spending money. They've won the league. It's really sad. But do you really, really think the achievement is that good? You got 2 lucky goals in injury time. So what is that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you won the league with 1 point, and who was right behind you? Arsenal. Like, I just really don't get it. The Arsenal Invincibles scored more goals than the treble winning team. We conceded less goals than the treble winning team in the Premier League. I just don't get it. And I feel if we're going to compare the two teams, we need to compare them on a level playing field. And that is the Premier League. It's because it's domestics that we're going to be.
But that's not the debate either. The debate is which is the better single season achievement. Winning your league as an invincible, not losing the game, or winning the 3 biggest possible trophies your club's in. That's the debate.
Listen, it's so, as the caller rightly said, I think his name was Kwame, it's much harder to win or to go a season unbeaten. It's harder. And if it's harder, that means it's the better achievement.
But what's the debate? No, but you're quoting the guy, but if this, don't misquote him, but he said the better achievement's winning 3 trophies.
I don't care what Kwame said about that.
So you already care about one, no, we're gonna take some more calls. Sorry, no. Kwame, it was a great point. He likes half of it and not the other. That's brilliant.
Typical Arsenal fan. Arsenal fan. We take the good, ignore the bad.
Absolutely. We're going to take another call now from somebody. Jay or Abs can put that through to us. That would be amazing. Hello and welcome to FanPark Live Head to Head. What's your name?
Oh, name's Ali.
Hello, Ali. Who do you support?
Man United fan.
Man United. What would you like to say? The Invincibles or the Treble? Which was the best achievement?
Listen, Treble, greatest night of my life when we won the Champions League, but I'm going to have to go Invincibles.
Bro, that's what we love.
He's a bloody Arsenal fan.
Why though? Why though?
I'm a big admirer of Arsene Wenger.
You're a big admirer of Arsene Wenger. Is that? But what's your? Why do you feel it's a better achievement?
Kerry, I'm not going to discredit the treble winning side, but as a Man United fan, you cannot tell me that we played better football.
That's not the debate.
Arsenal side.
I'm really sorry to challenge back. I am being the host here. That's not the debate. Which is the better single season achievement? We're not talking about who played the best football. We're not talking about who had the best kits.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And you have to look at the record books. A 38-game season unbeaten. Barcelona couldn't even do it. It's a greater achievement.
But Celtic, AC Milan, Juventus and Preston have done it.
Preston was in, 1889?
But that still happened. You know, Real Madrid won some of their...
Five Champions League.
Back in, the 30s or something.
When there was 4 teams in the...
Is that really what we're saying?
No, I'm asking the guy. He's making a point. I'm just trying to get to the crux of it here.
Terry, let me tell you something. The 2 worst nights of my life. When I saw Arsenal complete the Invincible season and Liverpool winning the Champions League. The Invincible season is such a historic achievement, and I just always felt that if a club was going to go unbeaten, it would be Man United first. That we would be because we're the biggest club in England. I always felt that was our achievement.
We would have been second anyway, because Preston did it.
And I felt
yeah, we wouldn't have been first. They weren't. Mate, I really appreciate your call. Thank you. Some really good points. But Neek's just...
No, but this is just... it's a point because we liked... A lot of people like to believe that the football started in 1992. And it didn't.
It did. No, it really did.
Real Madrid have 13 or was it 12, 13 Champions Leagues, and they're going to get another... Maybe get another one.
What, you don't want Liverpool to win another one?
No, I'm just saying. They may get another one. But that's because they won 4-5 early when it first started. We can't dismiss football because we weren't alive. It happened.
Yeah.
No, but Mark, honestly, what do you have to say to the fact that, the Arsenal Invincibles conceded less goals and scored more, got more points? Like, what do you have to say to that?
Not in the season, though.
I think that... I think one thing you mentioned that I agree with is the context of the achievements. And one thing that neither of us mentioned is the quality of the opposition, because I felt the Premier League, for example, this season, apart from the top 2 or 3 sides, is very poor. And that's why United are second, because we've not been that good, but we're second. So taking 2004 and 99, as I said, United, they beat Zidane and Davids at the top of their game. Juventus, a very good Bayern Munich team who are also going for a treble. The Inter team with Ronaldo at his prime. An Arsenal team that was absolutely immense. That's something we both missed, and I wish I'd said it earlier, is that Manchester United in 99, the context of the achievement is the quality of the opposition that they were against. It was it was a very good Arsenal team, and that Champions League, they played Barcelona in the group stage. They got knocked out. It was an amazing run, In the FA Cup, we beat Liverpool, Chelsea and Arsenal. So we beat all the top teams to do it. It wasn't like we had home draws and easy games. I look at the 04 side and I know for a fact that United were a team in transition there. We'd just come off the back winning 3 titles in a row. We weren't a great team then. We were going through a transition. The Liverpool side wasn't particularly good. As I said, your only argument is the league. And it wasn't a very strong league either. So I think that has to be taken into context. The quality of the Invincible season. It wasn't as good as 99.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to put another caller through now, Mark, as well. But great points made by yourself there and good rebuttal again from Adam. We've got another call coming through. And we want Mark to try and reply to this caller if possible, please. Once it comes through. We're just waiting. Waiting.
Another fake night.
maybe, mate. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live Head to Head. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Salah.
Hello, Salah. Who do you support?
Man United.
You're a Man United fan. So, yeah, tell us what you think, and then Mark's going to come back and answer what you've got to say.
I've not, really seen, listened to I literally just got back in. But, from watching as much of the debate as I can see, I just don't get how people can think the squad's better. That's what I'm like.
The question is which is the greatest achievement? It's not which squad is better.
The greatest achievement is the treble winning side, because the Invincible achievement, if you look at it now, City, as much as I hate to admit it, City squad has had a better season than the Invincibles. The achievement of what they've done is better. No one is going to reach 100 points. And an Invincible season has nearly been done twice in the last 2 years. Even Leicester could have done Invincible. They only lost 3 games that season. Being Invincible now really hasn't got that much to it.
Are you normal? What do you mean Leicester could have done it? Are you alright? What the hell?
Are you suggesting that it's just a token?
Leicester in the season they won the league, they lost only 3 games that whole season. Twice to Arsenal. Season unbeaten and get relegated. 38 draws, 38 points. You're going to get relegated with that.
Good point. He's got a good point there.
Yeah, Mark, have you got anything to say back to the caller? Thanks for your call.
Yeah, I have. I mean, as I said at the start, look, we're talking about. You're right. You're totally right. And I always say this, and I'd throw this back to the caller as well. I know United have won titles, and then we've had an English club in the Champions League final. And I've always said I would rather win the Champions League than win the league, because United have won the league, and I've been worried about English teams winning the Champions League. So we're only talking about a league title, and I know both United and Arsenal at the moment would bloody love one of those. But it's one league title, and it's about what's better in that season. And as we said, Arsenal couldn't beat Portsmouth. They drew with them both times in that league season. So I just think there's too many holes in it. I don't know what you think about that.
You asking? Yeah. So Mark, what do you have to say about the team knowing your opposition better? Because I noticed how you've completely glossed over that point. Don't you think it's far easier for you to play against a team that doesn't know how you play as well?
I do. I think you're very right. I think Manchester City this season struggled with that because Klopp knew how to deal with Pep, and I think Pep would have preferred European opposition. Okay. But I would still say that United, look, Arsenal, if they're the best team in England, which apparently they are because they're invincibles, they should have been able to beat Chelsea over 2 legs. They should have been able to beat Middlesbrough over 2 legs in the League Cup. They should have been able to beat a poor United side.
But that Chelsea then went on to win the league the next season.
I think they were a league side
and break the points.
They drew a lot of games. They were a league side, but when the pressure was on, that team bottled it. They weren't a cup side.
When the pressure was on the team, so playing for an unbeaten season doesn't have pressure, no? That doesn't count for any pressure.
I don't think there were. I don't know how many points United were behind them. Maybe we can get some stats on that. But as I remember it, I try to forget it. Arsenal were pretty comfortable throughout that season. I think they were always going to win that league. I think the gap was quite big. So I think when they were under pressure in the cups, they bottled it. Yeah. In the league, they could play it comfortably.
That league, as it was, I don't think Jay can get the phone put up on the screen. Arsenal won the league that season with 90 points. Chelsea was second on 79 points. 7 defeats that Chelsea team had. Man United came third, 9 defeats.
How many
on
defeats
75.
did Arsenal have?
We know that. 0.
0.
Yeah,
and
so won it by 11 points, which is a fair margin, to be fair. So, mate, do you think, having seen that, do you think Mark's pressure point holds some water?
Definitely not. Because a team like that creates its own pressure. you start winning the games, you start realizing that this unbeaten thing could really become a thing, something that you and your comrades can have for the rest of your lives. It's a huge achievement. So that pressure starts to build up in your mind. And I think that's something we also do. We really, really underplay the mental aspect of football. That's why people try to say, oh, Ronaldo's not that good. Do you know how much it takes to play in those types of games? To know that there's everything riding on this match. I could lose and my name is wiped out from history. If I win, it's etched in history.
Would the same not be said?
I think it's a great point, that is, Terry, because I think I would give that back, because he's very right, and I liken it to Manchester United in the FA Cup semi-final when the captain was sent off and we went down to 10 men and Bergkamp's got a penalty to win it. They missed it because the keeper stood up, went into extra time with 10 men against a very good Arsenal team. Giggs scored a cracker, the pressure's on, the Treble's about to go. I mean, the United had that all season. The Treble, the press were talking about it all through that Christmas 98 through to May 99. I remember it.
2-0 down.
The pressure of that treble, the pressure of the treble in the final. What did Sir Alex Ferguson say at half time? Walk past that trophy and don't touch it, because you might never touch it. This tonight is pressure. Tonight is a chance of a lifetime. And what did they do in stoppage time?
Mark, think about...
Yeah, you're right about pressure.
Think about the semi-final. 2-0 down away against Juve. Your best two central midfielders get themselves booked and out of the trophy. That both sides have... I think you're right about the pressure of the Invincibles, but... Surely the Treble has exactly the same feeling about it.
You know what? I would say no, because it doesn't, and the reason is because in the final, you were a goal down.
Okay, we've got one last caller coming through. Cool, coming through now, and then I'm going to pick the winner. I get to pick.
Caller, you are through to FanPark. The live debate, head to head, Treble winning side versus Invincibles. What would you like to say?
Well, first of all, my name is Saif.
No!
Yeah, talk to me.
What's going on? You put my stalker
I'll
through.
say the 99 Champions League final, the Treble winning, because Manchester United came back 2-0 down from Juventus. We won 3-2. Bayern Munich, we beat them in the 99 final. I think we scored 2 goals in the stoppage time. But the reason why I disagree with the 2014 is because Arsenal was so bloody lucky. Because if Ruud van Nistelrooy scored that penalty goal, Manchester United
should I walk out of the studio right now?
He said the Ruud van Nistelrooy penalty when you bullied him.
Listen, the guy. Nah, we won't hang up.
Thanks, Safe. Thank you. I look forward to more pictures being taken outside of my house. Thank you. That guy literally is my stalker.
But
is this real?
Yeah, true. Say.
But Adam, he mentioned obviously the Man United draw.
Yeah.
He mentioned the Man United draw.
Yeah.
But Arsenal drew 12 games that season.
Right.
Do you think by the end of the season they were playing for the unbeaten?
Of course.
Because they drew 3 out of the last 5.
Okay.
If they had played to win, they might have broken the 100-point barrier.
Can you imagine having a manager that plays for draws?
I know, and you know,
yeah.
Well, the amount of stick that managers get for not playing for a win. The Man United 99 arguably played for more wins than the Arsenal team.
Listen, Mark,
2004.
what any final thoughts from yourself on this debate, mate, before we make a decision?
As I said at the start, I just think it's a total mismatch. I feel sorry. He's reaching more than Peter Crouch, really. He's been given a really real tough one. And I just, if I was offered this totally neutrally, would I take an Invincible Premier League title over a treble? Well, it's simple maths. Would you take 1 trophy or 3? Would you take being unbeaten for a season with 12 draws, 2 against Portsmouth, which you don't beat? Or would you take something epic? So many epic moments. People will remember the treble. They'll remember the Invincibles. There'll be an afterthought, though, because 99 is the best season there's ever been. And I don't think it will be done in our lifetime. It was absolutely amazing.
And Adam, final thoughts from you?
Arsenal Invincibles is something that will not happen again. We will be long dead before another team goes unbeaten in the Premier League. And that's all it is.
Okay. Before I make my mind up, Mark, I'll go to Adam first, actually. What was the famous, when it was completed, the Invincibles, what was Arsene Wenger's world famous quote and comment and line after achieving it?
I don't know.
Mark, what was Sir Alex Ferguson's world famous line when he completed the treble in the Champions League final?
Football, bloody hell.
That's what stands out to me in this, and I know people sound biased, but I'm looking at this as the greatest achievement. Man United's treble created those iconic moments, the Solskjaer goal. the comeback against Liverpool in the FA Cup, the last minute winners, the Giggs goal, the bare chest, the hair. These moments, there are moments within Man United's treble winning season. There's not propaganda. These moments will be played again and again and again. You very rarely see golden moments from the Invincible season played and relived. Even when Arsene Wenger had his last game the other day, they spoke about it.
I swear we won the league at Tottenham though. I think we did.
Okay.
And that doesn't count for
They
anything.
got one there, but what I'm saying is where's those iconic moments that are played? Where's your Aguero moment? As an example, I don't see that as part of that. So I am gonna side with Mark Goldbridge on this debate. I think both gentlemen did absolutely fantastically well. We know what the Twitter polls are saying. They're going to go with the Invincibles. And on top of that, I think the 3 trophies over 1 will always outweigh it. I mean, quite literally as well. But gentlemen, massive well done. And thank you, Mark, again, yourself and everybody at the United stand. Thank you very much for bringing you and your wonderful channel onto UFF and FanPark Live tonight. Have you enjoyed yourself?
I have. I really enjoyed it. I do feel for Adam. I think he put up a good fight, but I don't think there's a team that compared to them. And I do think he's right. I think we'll all be a long time dead before Arsenal win a title. But really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and I'd love to do it again.
Lovely. Listen, everyone who is tuning in, whatever platform you're on, we are back again tomorrow night, 10 p.m. We're on 10 p.m. for the next 3 weeks or so. So come and tune in for more debates going forward. Obviously, check Neeks out at Neek Sports. You've got Adam here at The Fifth Official. Go check out their channels. Make sure you're subscribing to them. I've been Terry Flewers. Thank you all very, very much. Take care. Good night. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon.